Hey folks, it's Brynn here from the Honey Guess What podcast. Typically when we do our podcasts, it's Dan and I, and it's just sound. So this is a video. It's going to probably be like a bonus on our Facebook page and our YouTube page or whatever. It's just when I do the podcast, I typically am trying to teach Dan something, and I typically try to pick something that he's going to be kind of interested in. You know, he has to sit there and listen to me talk for 15 minutes. I don't want to bore him to death. But I was thinking about it, and some of you might be interested in things that Dan's not. Like how I perm my hair. You might not be interested at all. If so, just scroll on past. But I'm going to make this video. Perms, especially home perms, take a long time, like hours and hours by the time I wind up all my hair and process it the 2 separate times. So I'm going to do like short video clips. I'm not going to keep you on here for hours and hours. Short clips and kind of splice them together, hopefully. Dan is the tech guy in our gruesome twosome, not me. So we'll see what happens here. But so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do a demonstration on a video because I like doing videos, and then you'll all learn how I do home perms. So first, let me just say, I'm sure you can hear my kids playing video games in the background. I can't make them disappear, so they exist. First things first, I showered, washed my hair with regular shampoo. My hair has not been lightened or colored at all. My hair hasn't been lightened in years, but it hasn't been colored at all in the last couple months. My last perm was in July. And you see there's still a fair amount of curl here, but the first couple inches of hair is very straight. The front has lost a lot of its curl in the last month or so, so it's time to do it again. I am not a hairstylist. I probably shouldn't do this over and over again, but I enjoy doing it, and it costs less, and now you're all going to be as expert as I am. I did not learn how to perm my hair from Wikipedia. I learned how to perm my hair from YouTube. So there you go. I'm as knowledgeable in this as everything else that I profess to tell you about. So I washed my hair. I conditioned it. The brand that I use of home perm is Ogilvy. It's one of the big, I honestly don't know even how many companies are out there that still do home perms, but Ogilvy does. And it has a pre-perm conditioner as one of the items that's in here. So I did condition it, and I'm trying to keep it wet. That's why I keep squirting it. I probably will have to a lot, probably between each curl. There are people who perm their hair and like section it and have like perfect roller placement, and that is not me. I like it to be a more natural looking curl. I don't mind if the curls are a little bit, I have 4 different size rods in here actually. I don't mind if there's some that are a little bigger, some that are a little tighter. I typically go tighter around my face, and then like medium through here, and then bigger curls kind of in the back, give or take. I like to vary it. I like to twist them in different directions. So we'll see what happens. I am making a lot of noise with my curl rods. These are my perm rods. I also have, these are a whole container of papers. They're I call them rolling papers. They're not for smoking. And I just stack them like on the edge of my sink, and then lick my finger a little so that they're damp, or use water, and then just pull one up at a time. So let me just show you. Let me show you one curl, then I'll stop the video and do most of the rest of my head, and then start some more video again. So I do not do hard, what's the word I'm looking for? Parts. I don't do hard parts in my hair. I just find sections, and I like sections that kind of stick together on their own because I feel like that'll stay as a curl. I start in the front around my face and work my way back. I know that there are people who do it differently. It's important to keep the keep the hair really wet. I'm probably going to be spraying like every section. Probably could be two. The smaller sections of hair that you use, the tighter the curls will be. I like a pretty tight curl. I mean, oh, that's not what I want to do. I like a pretty tight curl because it loosens up, and if I start with a pretty tight curl, I end up having curls for a lot longer. And so you're gonna, it's the paper, it's just like tissue paper, I guess, but it's like pre-cut into little rectangles. And you get it down to the very end of your hair, and it keeps any stragglers in, holds it to the paper pretty well. This is by my face, so I want to curl it back. As I said, as I go through my hair, I kind of vary the direction of the curls, but at least the first 2 rows around my face, I try to do away from my face so that they're not like in my eyes all the time or whatever. It's very exciting. Twist, twist, twist. Oop, that was my elbow. And then you can kind of spin the end of this to tighten it so it's not like straight across, and hold your curl there. You don't want it to be tight because you don't want to end up with like a cinch instead of a curl there, but you do want it to be tight enough that it's going to hold the curl in place. So that's good. So that's one done. It's going to be several dozen by the time I've done my whole head. So I'm going to take a break, work on some more of my head so you don't have to watch it, and then I'll come back and I'll give you my next couple tips. So, see you in a minute. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes and I've done probably a third of my hair. I probably have 1/3 on this side left and 1/3 on this side left, the bulk in the back to do. You can see I have a variety of colored curlers. I probably ought to move one so that there's one in this space. But I'm working along. I'm trying to keep things as damp as I can. The wetter the hair, the easier it'll take the curling solution. So I'm just plodding along, but I thought I'd give you a time update, and it's been about half an hour. So really, this is the longest part of the process. Curling the hair, keeping it wet, doing the curlers, and I have to stop, you know, every couple and like shake my hands out, put my arms down, because your arms get tired being up all the time, especially the curls at the top. So that's what I'm working on. It's funny how much I really enjoy doing home perms. I've home colored my hair a lot for a long time. I did that pretty regularly, but I've gotten a couple perms in salon. I really love the way my hair looks permed. I really like the body of it. And anyone who knows me will tell you I'm kind of addicted to anything 80s. I was born in 1986, so probably all the other people in the world perming their hair and hairspraying their hair, it all got into my little baby brain and made me think that I needed to do this. But I really love the way it looks. And salon perms, I mean, I totally, if you want to get your hair permed, I would definitely go get it done in a salon the first time and like pay attention to what they do and all of that. But they're a little costly. Like, it's just the way it is. They cost the time, especially. I'm, like I said, I've spent about a half an hour on this. I probably will be another hour before it's all in, it's in the rods. And that's before I can even start like the processing and stuff. So that amount of time costs something. Stylists can't be cutting other hair and doing other things if they're curling perm rods. So it's worth the cost. I'm not saying that it's not, but it is not cost effective for me when I've now figured out how to do it at home safely and effectively. If my hair had all fallen out the first time I did it at home, I would never have done it again. But this is my third home perm. My first time my mom helped me do it, and it turned out great. The second time, this past July, I did it completely by myself, just as I'm doing it now. And it came out gorgeous. I got so many compliments. I used a lot tighter rods than I had when my mom did it, and I'm using those tighter rods now. I like a tight perm. I just do. So there we are. I am going to keep working on this. I'll check in again in about a half an hour and we'll see where we're at. And hopefully the next time I check in after that, we'll be ready to rock and roll with the chemicals. So hope you're enjoying this. Please comment. I'm going to post this video on YouTube and on our Facebook page. Maybe just YouTube, and share that on our Facebook page. I don't know. Once I post this though, if you're at this point, if you're still watching, give me a comment. Let me know if you've ever thought about doing this at home. If you have questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability, or, you know, source the internet for you. So yeah, let me know you're watching. All right, I'll check in a bit. Okay, it's been about another half hour. I still have this much hair left to go, this much. It's hard because the hair from my crown to, like, you know, right in here, my crown is so dense that, like, it's a lot of curlers. It's a lot of curlers. I also stopped briefly to be a parent, so that slowed me down a little too. But I can't ignore the children for upward of an hour. That's too much. So that's where I'm at. I have this much left to do, and then I'm going to stop and take a drink and walk around my house for a minute before I get into the chemical treatment part of it. But then from there on, it actually goes pretty quick. This is definitely the longest, hardest chunk of it, is doing it. If you have a good friend, or, you know, like I said, my mom helped me with it one year, it's easier. If you have two people curling your hair instead of one, it goes a lot quicker. All right, so I will check in again in a few minutes. It'd probably take me 15, 20 minutes to do the rest of this. So see you again soon. Okay, so my hair is all in curling rods. A little bit of time has passed because I put the children to bed. Yes, I'm doing this at 9 o'clock at night because I'm reasonable. So, but I re-moistened everything so that they're damp again, and everything's done. I'm about to go on to the fun part, which is chemicals, playing with chemicals. The important thing when you're doing a home perm is to read all your instructions thoroughly, because all of them are a little bit different. I've done this one before, so I feel really comfortable, but I still read the directions completely. I actually have them taped to my mirror so that I can look at them while I'm doing this. You don't want to mess anything up when you're playing with chemicals. So the next thing, before we apply the step one, which is the curling lotion into the rods, you want to protect your skin. You might want to wear like a towel. This is an old shirt I'm comfortable without. If you get it on your skin though, you need to rinse it off and all of that. So this is just like a cotton barrier. It comes with the perm kit, but you can also get them at like the beauty supply stores. And you basically just want to go around and under all of the rods so that there's a protection between your face and where you're pouring everything. It keeps the rods in place too if they become really saturated and heavy, which they can because you're going to rinse them and stuff too. So it's nice to have this like thing of cotton. That rod's a little loose. I might have to tighten that one up. So that goes all the way around and kind of tucks into itself. You don't want to pull it down. You really want to push it like up underneath the rods as much as possible. Fancy, right? I'm going to retie this one because it's really loose. That's what happens when you stop partway through and go read a story and sing a lullaby. And literally I killed like an hour. I had to completely re-wet my hair. Okay. It's a little tighter. That's better. All right, we've got our protection. If you've got like really sensitive skin or you're not sure about this and you don't have somebody helping you, you can also put like petroleum jelly around the edges and on your ears, especially if you don't know like how your skin's going to react to it. You don't want to end up having like an allergic reaction or something. Okay, so double checking my instructions. Okay, we're gonna apply. This is step one. Some of the kits you have to like mix something. This one's all in one, so it's easy. I don't have to mix anything. I'm gonna cut the tip off of it. That was kind of aggressive. Okay. And now it's, I mean, I shook it really well. I was shaking it even before I started this video. Shake it really, really, really well. If you've got sensitive skin, you might want to wear gloves. You might want to use a towel, all of that. Make sure you have proper ventilation. If you're closed into a bathroom, turn on the vent fan because it's stinky. This is the stinky part of the perm. So then you just want to saturate each curl. It may feel, depending on the type of perm that you got, it might feel like really cold or really warm. If you've got like the thermal perms, I forget what they're called, it can get kind of warm. This one actually feels pretty cold on my head, actually. I'm going to turn off the camera so that I can focus. I'm going to try to get all of this done, and then I'll show you the next step. But make sure you saturate every curl. So I finished putting all of the curl lotion on. It only took like 2 minutes. I just wanted to be able to focus and get every curl, especially since I'm working by myself. You can see that I ended up grabbing a hand towel just so that I could blot my face and neck. Working by myself, I did have to touch the curls a lot. So I'm a little bit gross right now, a bit sticky. And it smells, I mean, it smells pretty strongly. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at. I set my timer. And this particular perm, it says to set it for a maximum of 20 minutes for easy to wave hair, which is what I have. If you have normal hair, it says for a maximum of 30 minutes. In either case, you're going to want to check the first curl in 5 to 7 minutes. If your hair curls really quickly, you could be done as soon as that. So I actually have these little disposable shower caps, and I'm going to try to cover as much of this as I can for my minutes. It's super crinkly, so it didn't really, it's not really covering all of them, but at least it's kind of keeping the chemicals in and not in my eye like I just did. All right, so this is the boring part. I have to just wait around for, I'm just gonna let it do 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna check the first one, but I'll show you how that goes too. So see you in a sec. Okay, it's been about 7 or 8 minutes. I can feel that it's starting to get kind of tingly. Tingly is okay, burning is not. If it starts burning, you need to rinse it and neutralize it because something isn't right. But it does feel tingly, like my scalp is starting to feel like something's going on. So I did check one briefly and it wasn't doing anything, but I'm gonna see if it's got some bounce, if it's got like an S curl happening, that's good. This one is not, so we're gonna give it another, it says 2 or 3 minutes, depending on your hair type. I'm gonna give it 3, just because it's not holding a curl yet. And I'm somewhere between easy to curl and normal hair, so I'm gonna give it 3 minutes and we'll check it again. And you want to check different curls. You don't want to keep on curling the same one. So give that puppy a chance, and then in 3 minutes we'll check one on this side. So it's been about 14 or 15 minutes since I initially put the curling lotion in my hair. I've checked my hair a couple times and bore you, keep checking. So far I haven't seen what I would consider to be a good S-curl. The maximum time is 20 minutes, 20 minutes for easy to wave hair, 30 minutes for normal hair. I'm gonna check it again in like one more minute. I'm trying to see my clock. In like one more minute. And last time I checked it, which was like 2 or 3 minutes ago, it was almost there. So I think this next check will be there, but I didn't want to bore you by videotaping every single one. I'm gonna pick, I haven't done this one, so let's pick this guy and see where he's at. Okay, yeah, so they talk about like a bounce and an S wave. You can see that it's got a curl to it, those S's. I think this is probably good. So at this point, I'm gonna have to let you go for a little bit, because what I gotta do, according to these directions, is I have to rinse this for 3 minutes with a timer under warm water. Then, as soon as I'm done rinsing it, I need to apply all of my neutralizer. The neutralizer is a product that basically tells the curling cream to stop breaking down the things in my hair. So I'm not gonna take the curling rods out. I'm gonna rinse it with the curling rods still in really well, warm water, fix any rods that might come apart. I'm gonna do all of the neutralizer, the whole bottle. Work it into all the curls. I have to let the neutralizer work for 5 minutes. After that, I can check the curls, make sure that they're still holding, and then I'm gonna take them all out. I'm gonna work the neutralizer in some more, and I'm gonna rinse it all really well again for about another 3 to 5 minutes. Then I will show you the results when it's out of the rods, fully neutralized. But I can't stop and start in between there because it's gonna be water, and it's all like timing. So the next time you see me, my hair will be permed, it'll still be wet, and then we'll talk a little bit about what I do for styling. Again, if you've got any questions, let me know, but I'm gonna go rinse this out before I end up losing my hair. All right, so we're about on the last step. I'm obviously changed because I showered and rinsed everything out as I worked the neutralizer in. I had some trouble with my newest rods, the purple rods. I'm gonna try to show you. See, it still has thing on it. It's got like, you see, it's got like a ton of knobbies, and it kept pulling on my hair. So otherwise it was fine, but the newest ones were really like yanking. So hopefully it didn't pull out any of the curl. That's the important thing, right? When you perm your hair, you don't want to pull on it, you don't want to comb it, you don't want to even run your fingers through it too much because you'll pull the curls out. This is a trick I learned. This is a t-shirt. It's actually the t-shirt I had on earlier, wrapped up in a turban on my wet hair, because towels can pull too much moisture from newly permed hair. Like, you want to keep as much moisture in as you can, but I didn't want it to be dripping, so I just wrapped it in a t-shirt when I got out of the shower. So I'm gonna pull it out. Let's see how that looks. All right, well, that's not bad. It looks like we've got quite a lot of curl. There are a couple pieces that are not super curly, but some product will pull those up. Piece 2. We had some really beautiful curls in here though, so I think it was a pretty good success. If you have any questions about what I did or how I style it, because I style it different from when I first perm it to like the end to get the most out of my curls, I'm happy to explain that at some point. But in the meantime, this was a special edition of the Honey Guess What podcast, a little video demonstration of how I perm my hair, since I couldn't really explain it on audio and Dan probably doesn't care. So I'll talk to you all soon. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Maybe we'll do more these kind of things. All right,